Sam grew up in Idaho in a family of pretty fundamental Christian belief, and he had issues with emotionally, which he says that he medicated himself with food. He was a gay kid who was outed in his school, which is awful, but he had a very supportive and strong family, and he's, to me, the pinnacle of an artist who uses, like the poison of a situation to create medicine through his work. So he has my admiration for that. And the film is based on aspects of his life. When he wrote The Whale, he said that he was really just trying to write a movie about a father who wants to reconnect with his child after they had been estranged. And it grew from that point of attack. The Whale was, as likely you know, it was a play been performed on stage many, many times, but Darren Aronofsky, our director, saw it in 2012, yeah, and he optioned it and told Sam, we have to make this into a movie. And so it took him a decade, 10 years to put the pieces together and find the cast that he needed, and I'm the lucky guy who got to play the part. The preparation for it included a 3-week rehearsal, which is unusual when you make a film, but our company A24 was very generous, and that was actually a requirement of Darren's. And it made sense because, like I say, it was a stage play, so we approached the film the same way you would rehearse a theatrical production, with the floor taped out, standby props, watching each other's scene work. We were pretty proud that we were ready to do like a pretty good off-Broadway production of The Whale of our own by the time we went to the built set. And we felt very confident because we'd already made all our discoveries and mistakes and bonded with one another. So by the time it came for us to put it on camera, we knew what we were doing, which is fantastic. And so what I learned was it really is important to prepare, and when you do, very good work can be a result. I also researched the role by having consultation with an advocacy group called the Obesity Action Coalition, and they support tens of thousands of people whose lives are affected by obesity, either through their family members or themselves, or they need referrals. It's a unique entity. But moreover, what their purpose is to end the bias against those who live with obesity. Because this is a story about how easy it is to dismiss a person by how they present to the world. And it's a story that's played out behind a closed door in a small apartment in anywhere, Idaho, America. Could be anywhere in the world, really, but we really haven't seen this story told this way before on screen. And we're proud that we were able to create this character authentically using prosthetic makeup and certainly the research that went into understanding the challenges that a person has, the health challenges and the emotional challenges also, that I was able to ascertain by the people who I spoke with on Zoom calls that winter when we were rehearsing. Because it was COVID, we had to distance ourselves, of course. And I learned something really interesting, well, kind of sad too. Of the 8 or 10 people that I spoke to who gave me honest testimonials about their lives, they had something in common, and I'll tell you what it was. There was always a similarity that in their life, they were made to feel diminished by an adult, a parent, a teacher, a bully, from very early on in their lives when they're very small. It continued to a point where they felt a sense of shame or a sense of self-recrimination, or for instance, in Sam's case, he was medicating himself by eating. Someone who gets stuck in a cycle like that can find themselves in a similar situation that we meet Charlie in, because they've passed a threshold and they can't stop a habit, and the health concern. I mean, the health ramifications are palpable. And it seems as simple as sending a message that what we say to one another has great impact on our very physical health. So in brief, the OAC, the Obesity Action Coalition, was a valuable resource for us because it taught me in a practical way that, yes, we must be more gentle and kind with one another. Certainly, you wouldn't want to challenge a child's confidence, but there's actual harm that can be done by virtue of the way that we speak to one another. So the message really clearly is one of tolerance, and that was really helpful to me in understanding who Charlie was, as not just being a man who was obese, but also an educator, a lover, a father, a teacher, a mentor. So many more things than just who he is as he presents to the world. And I also have to acknowledge that Charlie has, and it might not be on the surface, but there's a darker side to him also. I mean, he's flawed. He's a human being. He certainly knows that there are things he could do differently to improve, or if he could go back in time and change something, he would if he could, but he can't, and it's too late. I think that he's just an infinitely human character, someone that really belongs in the world of the films that Darren Aronofsky directs. His films have always been about hard-won hope, have been about the thornier aspects of life that we might choose to look away from. And this is a film that challenges you to pay attention, even if you don't want to, because he'll never offer up any easy answers to the human condition when you watch a Darren Aronofsky film. But I can promise you that the beliefs that you may have held before you walked into this film are very likely to have been amended, if not outright changed, by the time the story ends. Hi, thank you to all my friends in Japan and in Tokyo. I certainly hope that you have a chance to go see The Whale. It's a meaningful film in many, many ways, and it's an honor to bring it here. Please enjoy.
本年度アカデミー賞受賞。体重272キロ。余命わずかの男。
Why'd you gain all that weight?
Someone close to me passed away, and it had an effect.
家族を捨て、恋人も亡くした彼の人生最後の願いは。
You haven't seen her since she was 8 years old, and you're gonna reconnect with her?
Liz.
Are you actually trying to parent me right now?
Sorry.
This isn't a good idea.
I'm sorry.
You say you're sorry one more time, I will shove a knife
Go
right.
ahead. What's it gonna do? My internal organs are 2 feet in at least.
最後の5日間、彼が心の奥底で信じ続けた願いとは。
I need to know that I have done one thing right with my life.
ザ・ホエール